brother. Well, that's kind of a shocker. March 23rd, the end of March. One more week to go and then it's April. Springtime. And we get snow again today. That's what I hate about winter. Especially this time of year. You've had it. You're done with it. And it just keeps on dishing out more and more and more. And I'm anxious for some nice riding weather. Not this crap. What a way to wake up. I try not to be grumpy today, though, okay? I'll put a smile on. I'll make the best out of the day. Hey, you know what? This morning I'm going out to breakfast with my neighbors. How about that? Whew. Well, I just got back from the Chatham Sugar Bush pancake breakfast with the neighbors. Good people. I got the best neighbors around, I'm telling you. But not too far from here is a little town called Chatham, Ohio. And if you're driving through there and you blink your eyes or you look down to tune the radio or whatever, you're going to miss it because really the only thing there is this old general store. But just north of that is the VFW hall, and they have the pancake breakfast there every weekend during this time of year. And all of the pancakes are made from the buckwheat ground, stone ground buckwheat. Now, not too far, probably maybe about 4 or 5 miles from here, is the old mill. And the old mill is on Old Mill Road. It's actually an old grist mill, and I think it was built in 1833. Well, a friend of mine, Norm, and his wife, Sarah, they bought the property, and he has been working on this mill ever since. Now, I knew that years ago he put in, the water wheel, but there was a big flood that came through there and kind of wiped everything out, and he had to start over again. So he kind of reinforced it. He bought those great big concrete precast things that they use on the highway that kind of are stackable, and they made like a raceway, and they put in a brand new water wheel, great big, like a 20-foot water wheel. And so the water runs over, turns the water wheel, which powers the grist mill, which grinds the flour. So every year, Norm and his buddies, they pick up bags of the buckwheat, and they bring it to the mill, and they grind it at the mill, and then they package all of the flour, and they make the pancakes out of it. Now, the other interesting thing about the Chatham Sugar Bush Festival is that all of the maple syrup is all processed locally, not particularly from this neighborhood, but surrounding areas. And so on the weekends you go there, and I think it's $15. And we got there just in time. We got a table, and they served us. It's like all you can eat buckwheat pancakes, and they're so good. And the maple syrup, and then they give you 2 great big honkin' sausage links, and those were really good too. But that was a good meal. I mean, filled me up, and we had some really good camaraderie with the neighbors, and it was a fun time. Now, we got there right on time because I think we got there right around 10 a.m., and shortly thereafter, the lobby was like completely full of people waiting for a table. So it's well worth the effort to take a trip to Chatham, Ohio on the weekends right now for the annual Chatham Sugar Bush pancake breakfast. Well, aside from that, I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of my day. I do have some friends coming over today, so I'm looking forward to that. Today, as this video is posted, is Palm Sunday. And my plan for Palm Sunday is to join my daughter, and we're going to have a Easter dinner with her and her family. So I look forward to that because I don't get to see my daughter very often. When I do, though, it's always a pleasure. And it'll be kind of an early Easter dinner. And I don't know what's Easter is going to be next weekend. So I'm not sure. I don't have any plans for Easter. What I used to do is have a ham dinner right here. I would get that honey baked ham, make some cheesy potatoes, and deviled eggs, whatever other sides that would go with that. And I'd have family over here and we'd enjoy Easter dinner, but I haven't committed to that this year. I'm not sure why. I just haven't had the motivation to do it. And then again, I think everybody else has other plans too, so I might just end up making that meal and eating it myself. I don't know. Time will tell, though. So let me ask you this. You got any plans for traveling on the motorcycle this year? I haven't quite made up my mind yet. We got a ways to go before we get into that, full riding season. But I was thinking the other day about my options for spending the night. Now, when you travel a long distance, you got to stop somewhere along the way and spend the night somewhere. And in the past, I think I've always kind of been on this budget plan, where the cheaper the better. So I would pack up my bedroll, my sleeping bag, and my air mattress, and my tent on the bike, and then I would usually find a state park, which they're like, I think it was like 50. I think I paid $8 a night one time to sleep in a state park, which basically is just a little plot of grass where you can set your tent up, no electric hookups or anything, just like a tent site. It's very primitive, but it serves the purpose because it gives you a legal place to camp where you're not going to get booted out in the middle of the night. You can start a little fire if you want and heat up your food or but facilities, minimal, like an outhouse that you have to walk to. So, yeah, that was in the past. Now, I don't know how that's going to work now at my age, though. I mean, my Thermarest mattress is only about maybe 2 inches thick, and it's better than laying on the ground, but it's still kind of hard on the shoulders and the back. So it's still roughing it. So then, the next step up is to find a cheap motel, which I've done that too, but that's kind of unfavorable for me because I've had some bad experiences. The one I went to, I was up all night looking out the window because my bike was parked right in front of the hotel room, right in front of the window and the door to my room. And I took everything off the bike because there was people out there all night long, and I don't know if they were selling drugs or prostituting or what the heck they were doing, but it was very busy. There was a lot of cars coming in and out, and there was people loitering around out there, and I was just really worried about my bike. So I thought, okay, in the future, I got to be a little more careful about picking a motel. Another one that I stayed in was really weird because, it was like one of those ones where you walk into the lobby and you ring the bell, ding, 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 ding. And then this crippled old man comes walking out and looking at you like, what do you want? I just need a room. Well, he says, take the first room down there on the right. And I went in this room, and it was a pretty big room. I mean, it was bigger than a normal hotel room that you would think of. But the weird thing about it, there was a door that, sometimes when you get a hotel room and there's a door that goes into another hotel room, like if you had family and you wanted 2 rooms, but you still wanted to be able to come back and forth between the two. But there was no door. The door was gone. and it was just open over to the next room. And so it was kind of weird. Like I'm standing there thinking, okay, I'm gonna sleep in this room, but what if somebody goes in that room next to me? Because there's no door; it's just open. And that was kind of a shifty night's sleep too. I that was kind of creepy, kind of a weird place. So the motels, the cheap motels, are kind of like becoming like not a good option for me. But that brings us to the next step, the more the commercial like hotels, the Holiday Inn, the Ramada, the Hilton or whatever you can afford, because the prices go from one level to the next on those, just for a room, for a bed. And I've had some bad experiences with that too, because sometimes let's say Holiday Inn for instance. There's some really nice Holiday Inns out there, but there's also some really crappy ones. And if you don't know exactly, say you're traveling and you're in a different state, you're in a different city, and you stop at this Holiday Inn, you don't know what you're getting. I mean, all of a sudden you find out that it's like an all night party going on. And all you hear is people out in the hallway walking back and forth all night and banging around and making all kinds of racket. And, you don't get a lot of sleep there either. So, yeah, it's hard to pick and choose where you're going to lay your head down for the night when you're out on the road. It's kind of a crapshoot, I think, because you never know what you're going to get. You just hope for the best. I think the neighborhood has a lot to do with it too, but when you're in a strange place, you don't know what the background is of that area. You don't know, if there's gangs or trouble in that area. It might be a higher population of ethnic that you may not feel comfortable in. So you gotta, I don't know, it's hard to take all those things into consideration when you're out on the road. But yeah, that's kind of my dilemma right now, trying to figure out what and then I got the RV too, but that's not motorcycling. I'd have to hook that up to my truck and yank that all over the place. And of course, that's like my hotel on wheels. Or my home on wheels. I got everything, but I got everything in there that I need, and to live in comfort, to sleep in comfort, just like my house. It's super comfortable. But I'm talking about more taking the bike. Getting on the bike and just going for a couple days. Where are you gonna stay? So yeah, I think you got to put a little bit of thought into that. Unless you really don't care. Sometimes it's just a matter of just get me through the night, just give me a pillow to sleep on. God, I remember one place I went to, and it was operated by I think East Indians or something like that. They had that sharp Indian accent, and they gave us a nice little room, and the the bedspread, though, was like this polyester quilt. I mean, it was like fairly thick, full of batting. But it was like so thick it didn't even want to like drape over the edges of the bed. It just kind of like suspended out like that. And the thing was, it was so slippery. Every time you turned over, that whole bedspread would go zoop and slide right over on the floor. It was hilarious. Not very comfortable for sleeping, but it was the strangest thing I've ever seen in a hotel. And I don't know where they came up with these bedspreads they had there, but I mean, it was bottom of the barrel. You had to like grip the thing under your arm while you were sleeping so it didn't slide off the bed onto the floor. Crazy as it was. Well, that's all I got today. It's kind of cold and crummy outside, and I don't really know what I'm going to do with the rest of my day. Today being Palm Sunday. Happy Sunday to you. Happy Palm Sunday. Next Sunday is Easter. So today I'll be spending the day with my daughter and her family and enjoying a pre-Easter meal on Palm Sunday. So God bless all you guys. I'll continue to keep all of you in my prayers. I know a lot of you need prayer as much as I do. I'm thankful for all of my viewers, for all you guys, for all of you who have subscribed, and hit me with that thumbs up. It helps to kind of boost my ratings a little bit, helps me out, and I appreciate all the comments too. You guys are great. Well, until next time, cats, I'll catch you all later.